Welcome back to Variologies. I'm Dan Calcagno. Today we're going to talk about how the church is the new Israel. I'm sure we've all heard the terms the church and Israel. What do these terms mean? Who do they refer to? Well, historically, Israel is the title for the nation of Israel, the Jewish people who descended from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all those who converted to become a part of that nation. What is the church? Well, the church, put simply, are the followers of Jesus. People from all around the world, different languages, different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different races, and we are all united spiritually through our devotion to Jesus. We are the church of Jesus. Church meaning the Greek word ekklesia, which simply means assembly, a gathering together, a congregation. And so we are the assembly of Jesus, the Messiah. And so why do we find language even in the New Testament, why do we find that the term Israel and allusions to Israel and the Jewish people are often put upon the church? How does that make sense? I'll show you what I mean. The Apostle Paul said in Galatians, "Peace and mercy be upon the Israel of God." Here he is referring to all believers, both Jewish, non-Jewish, people from all around the world, who are followers of Jesus, and yet he's referring to them as the Israel of God. And in his letter to the Romans, Paul said, "They are not all Israel who are descended from Israel, nor are they all children because they are Abraham's descendants. It is not the children of the flesh who are children of God, but the children of the promise are regarded as descendants." So here he is saying that simply because a person is ethnically or legally Jewish and a part of the nation of Israel does not mean they get to be a part of the true Israel, the Israel that is comprised of the children of the promise, that is those who take hold of the promises of God in Jesus the Messiah. And in Philippians, he said about Christians, about followers of Jesus, he said, "We are the true circumcision who worship in the Spirit of God and take pride in Messiah Jesus and put no confidence in the flesh." So he's making a contrast here between Jewish people who rely upon their heritage, their ethnicity, their legal status among the people of Israel, as opposed to Christians who are truly the ones who have been circumcised spiritually. We worship in the Spirit of God. We put no confidence in the flesh. We're not worried about whether or not we're Jewish, legally or ethnically, because it is our faith in Jesus which allows us to be considered God's people. And what about in Ephesians, when Paul addressed the non-Jews there in Ephesus, and he reminded them that they were separate from Messiah, excluded from the people of Israel, strangers to the covenants of the promise, and having no hope and without God in the world. But now in Messiah Jesus, those who were previously far away have been brought near by his blood. And so all those who are from the nations who are not Jewish, who connect themselves to God through Jesus the Messiah, have a place among God's people. We are now included among the people of Israel, and we have a place and participation in the covenants of promise. And so it seems that we are Israel. The church has replaced Israel. But what was the church to the original disciples of Jesus and the apostles? I think they understood themselves being Jewish, being a part of the nation of Israel. They saw themselves as the true Israel. So I do think they saw themselves, the church, the assembly of those who were followers of Jesus among the people of Israel, were the true Israel, an Israel within the nation of Israel. But they weren't seeing this as a replacement necessarily. They were seeing this as them being the faithful remnant. They saw themselves as being the ones who got on board with what God was doing by attaching themselves to Jesus the Messiah, the one who was vindicated through his resurrection and later was vindicated through the destruction of Jerusalem and the destruction of the temple and the priesthood. All the rest of the Jewish people were in rebellion in some way and needed to get on board with what God was doing. Well, what about non-Jews? Well, I think they saw that the kingdom of Israel was being expanded to include non-Jewish people from all around the world. People from every nation now call upon and worship the God of Israel through the Messiah of Israel. They have been spiritually connected to the Jewish people, that is, the Jewish followers of Jesus. The church of Jesus is what Israel should be, Again, that is to think of the apostles, think of the Jewish followers of Jesus in the first century. They were the fulfillment. So instead of replacement theology, it is a sort of fulfillment theology in the sense that Jesus and the apostles are the true Israel, and their kingdom, and that kingdom has been expanded to include Gentiles. Jesus and the apostles are the head of the new nation of Israel, the new status quo. There's a quote from a book called The Search for the 12 Apostles, and the author said, "Why did Jesus choose only 12 chief apostles? Obviously to correspond to the 12 tribes of Israel. He himself, as the new and eternal high priest, would stand for the priestly 13th tribe, Levi." The author here is talking about how Jesus was establishing a new Israel, a new in the sense of the true Israel. And that kingdom that he established is now open to anyone in the world. Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts or questions, leave a comment. You can follow me at Dan Calcagno. We can talk there as well. You can also support me, patreon.com/Variologies. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and visit Variologies.com for more. Thanks for watching. Take care.